Hey, hi, hello. My name is Emily, and thanks so much for hanging out with us on the Today Needs You podcast. This is where we have the chance to chat about all the things, from feelings and friendships to our favorite sneakers and our favorite Bible verses. We're going to tackle it all. I'm super pumped about today's episode, so let's dive in together.
Hi, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm so excited to be joined by Kayla Moe today. We are going to be chatting about when friendships change and when people grow apart and some things we've done well and some things we've done not so well when handling change. But before we dive in, Kayla, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Kayla. I am a freshman at Baylor.
Bears.
Yes, I'm also a Kappa, new to it, only 2 months. I'm majoring in speech pathology and audiology, hopefully doing kids, cross my fingers.
Awesome.
And I'm from Austin.
Amazing. Do you have to go to grad school for speech pathology?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
like
pretty much
preferred,
required,
like,
yeah.
Not technically, but
Yes.
unofficially
Yes,
required.
you definitely should.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And Kayla, you are a freshman in college, as we talked about, which means that like a lot of change has happened in your life recently. Yeah.
Yes.
You had friends in high school, lived in the summer in like limbo, and then went off to college and had to did you have any close friends at college, like that you knew were going to be in college with you, or did you go totally?
I did not know a soul.
Oh,
I had met my roommate, never in person. We just like kind of texted throughout since we had like decided to be roommates. But I didn't know a single soul. I kind of went in blind.
Yeah.
But I was kind of grateful for that. Like,
yes,
I go in and it's like a new start.
Blank slate.
I didn't have to deal with anything. Like, it was like perfect.
Yeah. There wasn't anything that like none of that like unfun, hard stuff that does happen with friendships carried into college with
it was just like I got to restart.
Yeah.
And it was like so much better than I expected.
That's nice. How did you handle like making friends and kind of, I feel like it sounds like dating almost, like you have to kind of put yourself out there.
Yes.
So how did that go for you?
So how
has that gone? I feel like it's probably still
it's been really good right now, at least.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was grateful enough to know a few girls through my older sister.
Oh yeah.
And so through the sorority, they had sisters, and so it's all able to like kind of mix in.
Yeah.
So lucky enough, in my hall, I knew 3 girls that were all like, you could say, I guess, legacies with my sister. Mm-hmm. And so it was like perfect. So I kind of knew of them. I had met them before.
Yes.
But I'd never talked to them.
You guys had like common, like mutual friends, mutual connections that kind of like gave you that starting point.
Yes.
That's
and so
nice.
we kind of all met, and then we kind of all like took the person we had become friends with over the past few days. Because in the beginning, it's like camp.
Totally.
It's like, especially like in the first few days before you start school, you're just like going around campus, walking around with your new friends that you don't really know.
Totally.
So it's kind of weird, but it was so fun. Like, I feel like I was lucky enough to be friends with girls that like I'm still friends with right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like so grateful for that, because I know a lot of people will go in, have friends first semester, and then it kind of switch second semester.
Yeah. But yours have carried
through.
But
mine have carried through.
So far,
and it's
so
been
good.
So far. I hope they stay.
Yeah, it's nice. I love it. But guess what? Like, we're going to talk about, even if they don't, it will be okay. Yeah. But it is definitely hard. When you were in high school, for me, so I had like a big group of friends that kind of like got built through middle school, and then freshman year of high school, sophomore year of high school, we were all like super close. And then sophomore year of high school, I had like a dramatic friend breakup with one friend, and it like totally threw me out of the group, that like situation happening. And so then I was still friends with everyone, but I didn't have a group to be friends with. And so that was really gross, but, and hard and gross. But what did your like friend, experience look like in maybe middle school and high school?
So in middle school, my elementary school was a very small part of my middle school. So it was like kind of like college, I guess. It was just like I kind of got thrown in, knew 3 or 4 people.
Yep.
And then, so middle school kind of bounced around. I feel like that's kind of, everybody's like, you're changing in middle school. It's all like the weird.
Yeah.
And then high school, I guess freshman year, sophomore year, I was friends with like the same group of people. Pretty close, but not like extremely close, I guess. But we are like a friend group, I guess, technically. Yeah. And then that was when COVID hit.
Oh, right.
I believe. Yes. COVID hit my sophomore year. So then it was like, oh, okay, bye. And so
That's so wild.
live in a place that's like kind of opposite of where everybody else lived.
Okay.
And so, from my like high school.
Yeah.
And so that part was a little weird because I was like kind of away from them. And then I kind of rejoined junior year to like hang out with them, I guess.
Right.
And then senior year, I just was not feeling it. Like, just, I guess my group, they were close and I kind of had like kind of fallen off
away,
of it.
Yeah.
And so I had realized I'd kind of just like stuck with them because I was like too scared not to have friends and too scared not to like have somebody to go to.
Yeah. A place to sit at lunch, like all of
yes.
those things.
And I feel like COVID was the real like thing that I was like, I don't like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like you don't have you think you don't have friends, but then like you'll be like saying hi to people in the hallway. Yes, and you realize like I could just go up to them and ask them, oh, you want to hang out on Saturday? Yeah. And then like it's fun.
I do think it's like friends versus a friends group.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it happens where it's all the same and sometimes it's different.
Yeah. Yeah. So like senior year, I kind of took myself out of the group because I didn't really want to deal with having to like put myself in a position where I didn't feel like I was acting like myself. I was like acting for others, I guess you could say.
I feel like that takes a lot of courage to even weigh the like cost and benefit of like the pros and cons of I'm being less myself, even though I do have like, I know where I'm going to sit at lunch and I like know I can have these plans, whatever. But to take a look at those things and say which one would I choose, I feel like takes a lot of courage. It's very brave. That's what I would also say. Like college is my best example because I did it really poorly in high school, but in middle school, but like be a part of multiple groups. Like don't put all your eggs in one basket.
For sure.
Because like I was involved in my church group, my like church small group, my sorority and like my major, my program. And so like if I had drama going on with my sorority friends, it was okay because I like also had this going well and this going well. And it would just put less pressure on
for sure
that situation. Kind of even if all 3 things were going badly at the same time, it was still like spread out.
Yeah.
And not there. I think distribute your friendship is probably, that would be my number one tip to like making it easier to manage when friendships do change because people change. Like we're always, especially when you're like growing up and you're figuring out who you are and figuring out what you like to do and figuring out how you like to spend your time. Who those matches are is going to change
for sure.
And so kind of spread the wealth.
And I feel like also like in high school, at least you kind of feel like you're like, oh, I need to have my one friend group.
Yes.
Like, okay, this is my friend group. Like I can't go because then sometimes you might
I don't like
am I like telling my people in my friend group that I don't want to be friends with them if I hang out with somebody else?
Right.
No, you're not.
No.
So like it's because like I do have my friend group at school, but I'm also like I will go to lunch with these other girls and I have like a small little friend group that we all have like kind of joined in together because we went to church one day together.
Yes.
At 7 p.m. and we're like, okay. And we went to dinner, and now we like do it every single Sunday. So it's like those little things can become like, they're not side friends, but like little.
No, but you have different, each one.
Other people you can go to.
Yes. Like I definitely had my group of friends that I spent the bulk of my time with. Like it wasn't like I made sure this group got a third of my week, this group got a third of my week, and this group got a third of my week. Like I definitely still had like, this was who I was with 90% of the time.
Oh, yes.
But I think making sure that that's not who you're with 100% of time or not. Yeah. And so, and even if that, like when I was in middle school, that some weeks, some days, sometimes my only friends were my small group leaders who were in high school and college. And that counts. I'm going to say.
For sure.
I'm going to say
no, I think
counts.
so. I think they do.
Sometimes you have to like get creative with where you're going to find your friends and who you're going to choose to connect with and letting things look different. And I think, finding people where you have everything in common is a little overrated. Also, like, not really possible.
No.
At all, because people are different. But I think, letting that, it's fun to reflect on. It's fun to remember things I did really badly.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought it was the end of the world. And because the feelings were real, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But how I handle the feelings was a little out of whack in the sense that like I acted like it was a big event in my life when really it was like a medium or a small one.
Yes. And I was just looking through my memories on Snapchat and I was like looking through and there's a picture of me crying and it was like over some random guy of like talking to somebody for 2 weeks. I'm like, and I'm crying.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
the feelings are real.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. And like, and then you look back and you're like, who is that? I don't remember anything about him. I don't remember how I met him. Nothing.
Yeah.
And so you look through the memories and I'm like, I don't remember this. So it obviously wasn't like that important where it's still in my brain.
Yes.
Like there's some things that are important.
Yes.
And then there's some that are like, they're important right now to me. But in 20 minutes they won't be.
Yeah. And so that's what I was good. Like when it's important, it's allowed to feel important. It's allowed to feel big and terrible and upsetting. But like let yourself pause before you act on that. Like,
oh yeah.
Because like you said, like it does feel like the end of the world and let it be gross. Let it be gross. Let it be unfun.
But it won't be
devastating. Yeah. Let it be unfun and then give yourself a minute before doing anything about it. Because something else will pop up and you'll be like, oh, I thought I was mad about that. Now I'm really mad about this. Or, oh, now this really lovely thing happened.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Oh, I think it's like, it's sometimes crazy to look back and see those things. Like you were saying, like, I'm like, I don't remember that.
And knowing that when you go through those things in elementary school, in middle school, in high school, in college, knowing that like people keep being people no matter how old you are. And people, like there are times when you feel left out as a grown-up. There are times when you feel frustrated and offended and hurt as a grown-up. And so knowing that like, okay, when this happens, it's going to be easier to handle it the next time because I've gone through this. And you are developing skills. You're building skills and resilience because people are people and it doesn't really stop happening to you necessarily, but it does, I think, get easier. I love it. Kayla, thanks for hanging out.
Yes, it was so fun.
I love it. We'll chat again, I'm sure. And we'll miss you while you're in Waco, but we'll stay connected.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much. We'll see you next week.
Thanks so much for listening while we're just getting started. If you want to stay plugged into this community, Like, subscribe, and let us know what you'd like to hear more about, who you would like to hear from by shooting us an email at info@allthethings.community.